Good afternoon. This is Pamela Bluewater for J&S Biblical Productions in Philistine country in the cave home of Delilah after the destruction of the Temple of Dagon. We are here to find out from Delilah the great weaknesses of Samson, the strongest man in the world, from the person who eventually brought him to ruin. Welcome, Delilah.
Hello, I'm Delilah. Greetings.
Well, Delilah, history tells us that your friend Samson had supernatural strength and at the end destroyed the temple of your god Dagon with 3,000 Philistines in it. That's really a show of strength. Did he have any weaknesses?
Yeah, he had so many. I don't even know where to begin. Perhaps it was told in the book of Judges, chapter 14, when he saw with his eyes a beautiful Philistine girl in Timnah, and without knowing anything about her, went back to his parents and told them to get her for him as a wife. This is a sign of a weak man, not a strong man, who only sees and lusts after a woman in her flesh, that wants to marry someone that he doesn't even know.
So he goes by what he sees and not by what he knows?
Yeah, that's right. Even his father had to tell him he should have looked for a wife among his own people, the Israelites. The Philistines were his worst enemy. He told his father without knowing anything, "Get her for me, because she's the one that I want."
Yes, I heard that. So do you think it was lust?
Absolutely. This set the pattern for what was going to happen in the future with him and me.
What do you mean?
He fell in love with me at first sight in the valley of Sorek. He really didn't know anything. The Philistines rulers asked me to find the secret of his great strength. I was paid 1,100 shekels of silver by each of them. He tricked me with false answers, but I used my beguiling ways as a woman to get him to eventually tell me the source of his strength, his long black hair. That's a weak man, not a strong man. Yeah, I let him succumb to my charms.
So his long black hair?
Yes.
That's not very nice.
Whatever. Who said I was supposed to be nice? I'm a Philistine, his worst enemy. We don't worship his god. We worship the fish god Dagon.
So then you're a prostitute, a harlot, and a slut?
That's right. Samson should have had faith in God, not to go by the eyes of woman's flesh. This is the trouble with most men of his kind.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's not generalize here. He was a Nazarite. He was from Nazareth. He was supposed to have faith to God and rules to follow.
No, he didn't. He betrayed God's faith. So he set a bad example. So he deserved to die. His lust did him in, and he didn't love me. He collapsed under the weight of his own pride.
Well, okay then. Thank you, Delilah.
No problem.
We'll conclude our interview on that note. This is Pamela Bluewater saying, don't be weak on your faith in God. Welcome back to the J&S studio. This is Pamela Bluewater with Mary Beth Violet of the Church of the Open Window. What is the significance of the story of Delilah and Samson that we should learn in the 21st century, Mary Beth?
Well, I'll sum it up first. The importance of having love and faith in God.
Then what were his errors?
There were so many, but mainly he was a Nazarite. They had dietary laws, and he killed a lion, and then he ate the honey from the honeybees inside the dead lion. And he should have known that touching the corpse would be unclean and make him unclean. He indulged in sin and lust to satisfy his appetite. But he was unfaithful in the most important thing, the love for God that's revealed in obedience. It's in John chapter 14, verse 15. If you love me, keep my commands.
Where did you first encounter this?
It was in the book of Judges, chapter 14, when he saw a beautiful woman, and he told his parents, I want you to get her for me. This kind of carnal failure stems unbridled lust. He was very strong-willed, but this is a very destructive combination. Great physical strength and great moral weakness.
Well, Mary Beth, I think you've said it all in so many words. The great lesson of Samson is that God is sovereign. He used Samson's most pathetic failure to bring about his greatest victories. He finally gave Samson the strength to kill 3,000 Philistines at the Temple of Dagon. Good afternoon.